but y'all playing the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to code, stop for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and power back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple talent. 3 PhDs, that be on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV.
All right, guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and welcome to drboycetv.com. This is the home for intelligent black people. So if you're not black and intelligent, you may want to get the fuck out because this conversation is not going to be of interest to you. This is a conversation for black people who love our community, who want to grow, who want to build, who want to be smarter than you were yesterday. There's no way, there's absolutely no way. I've analyzed the data. There's no way you could watch this channel for more than a week and not be a smarter person when you're done. We make black people smarter. We make our community better. We build, we discuss progressive issues in a fearless way, and we get it done. So if you agree, just type I agree. Just tell me that you agree. Let me know if you agree. This is a channel that makes people smarter. It's not like all the other crap on the internet where you see bullshit where people are just running their mouths about nonsense and you know, getting into internet beefs and cussing each other out and acting a fool and talking about gossip. No, we talk about everything. We cover everything here. But this is a place for intelligent black people. So if you are black and intelligent, please do me a favor real quick. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. Also subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscription button at drboycetv.com if you haven't done this yet. Anyway, all right, guys. So let's get it cracking. Let's just jump right back in. Jump right in. I want to ask you guys: have you give me a yes or no on this? Have you followed this whole interesting set of comments from Judge Joe Brown? Have you followed Judge Joe Brown? He's lit, ain't he? I mean, this man's got a lot to say about a lot of things, and his dialogue is pretty heavy, right? Pretty heavy. Anybody follow? Give me a yes or no. Okay, so somebody, let's see. Terrell says love Joe Brown. Savur says no. B. Riley says no. Kai no. Shelly yes. J. Real I agree. Yeah. So let me kind of brief you a little bit on it for those of you who haven't followed Joe Brown and what he's been doing lately. Okay, so Judge Joe Brown has really gotten into his online platform. He's really spent a lot of time, talking a lot on YouTube and things like that. I don't really know what's going on with his TV shows and all that stuff. Maybe he has the shows, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Anybody know if he's on TV still or not? I have no idea. I don't know if I see him in the media every now and then where he goes through he goes through some stuff and he's not a mainstream kind of guy, which makes me like you off the bat. If you're saying something that's different, I ain't even got to agree with you. I just like people that are different because I think mainstream media is kind of full of idiots anyway. I'm not a fan of what's mainstream. Like I was watching some show and everything was mainstream and it was like this standard news show, or I think it was like the Today Show or something. I was like, this is like the most boring, ridiculous shit ever. Like it's like this weird fantasy artificial world they're feeding you in media. And I like going to the internet to get people's real perspectives and real opinions. Now, here's the thing. Just because I like the fact that you're different, that doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you on every point. And I don't agree with Judge Joe Brown on every point. I don't. But I love it when people give me a point of view that I don't agree with. I actually like that more than when people agree with me. And the reason I like when people disagree is because that's the only way I'm able to learn. You see, this comes from actually, you guys know, I don't know if you guys know, but mathematics is my background. Like that was where I got my master's degree in. And the thing about mathematics, they have this thing called collinearity or linear combinations. And what it basically means is that, that you're not really growing something if everything that you add in is already connected to what you've already got. Meaning, like, so for example, if I make a movie called Black Power and you make a movie called Black Power 2, there's nothing really new there except for like this little incremental add-on to what's already there, right? So it doesn't mean it's like a bad idea. It just means that it's not original in the sense that it's just a linear combination of what you already have in place, right? And so basically what you're looking for if you really want to expand it from a mathematical standpoint is you look for things that are not a linear combination of what's already there, right? So for example, if I tell you that that I believe the Democratic Party is great and we should do things for the immigrants, and everybody just repeats that, everybody says, yeah, we need to do things for the immigrants, then nothing's gaining. It's literally one person with saying the same thing 10,000 times over. Like, you ever see that? You ever notice in the media how people like even black liberals, black conservatives, whatever, they all repeat the same shit, and you're not learning anything new from the next person because they're literally repeating what the last person just said. You grow when somebody comes over from the other side, a non-linear, or better yet, not non-linear, but a non-linearly related person comes along and says something completely in left field. Now, at first, your first reaction is, what the fuck is that? Like, who the fuck are you, right? Most people are sheep. The world is full of sheep, and everybody copies what everyone else does. But every now and then you have those people that just go out into left field, and it takes bravery to do that because you're out there by yourself. But a lot of times those people are the ones who expand society. Like, whether y'all like it or not, Kanye West and his crazy ass is actually making himself even more iconic by jumping out of the linear combination that was in existence before him. There would be nothing memorable about Kanye West if Kanye West were just another person from the music industry who said, go vote for the Democratic Party. If that's what he were doing, there'd be nothing interesting there, nothing memorable. We've heard it 10,000 times. But when he's coming out and saying something different, it's like, oh, well, Jesus is king? Wait, black people are not being treated right by the what you want us to be free? We don't know nothing about no freedom, Kanye. We only know slavery. What's wrong with you, nigga? Right? You cooning, nigga. When really I might be the bigger coon because I'm simply repeating what people before me have told me to do, right? So who knows? I'm not saying Kanye's a hero. I'm just saying that you can learn from hearing from people who are different. So that's what makes me appreciate Joe Brown. I get back to Joe Brown. Joe Brown says stuff where I'm like, what the fuck? What before I get kind of uncomfortable with it, I have to remember I'm the same kind of person, right? I say stuff where people are like, how dare you say that? You can't say that, right? But then after a while, if they listen, they'll be like, well, maybe he's got a point. Maybe Doc's actually on to something right there. Maybe we should think about that, right? And then people grow. So here's where Joe Brown challenged my thinking a little bit, because my opinion literally shifted quite a bit, and I want to tell you guys, I'm not afraid to change my perspective if I think I might have been wrong about something, or if there's a point there that I hadn't considered. So Joe Brown makes a remark about Harriet Tubman. He's debating with Umar Johnson. Umar, I don't have nothing against the brother, but the brother, I think he's decided I'm one of his mortal enemies. So Umar don't fuck with me, but I'll fuck with Umar. Umar, if you out there, you ever want to call me, man, give me a call, man. We should just talk. We grown ass men. We should just figure it out. Like, you don't like me, that's fine. Let's just talk, man. Don't nobody hate you, man. Seriously. But he was debating with Umar, and Harriet Tubman came up. And in this debate over Harriet Tubman, Joe Brown makes a remark that I originally felt uncomfortable with. He said, it is an insult to the black race that you put a black woman on a $20 bill before you put a black man on the $20 bill. Anybody see that? So he said that to Umar, and actually I agreed with Umar. Umar said, I do not agree. And I said, yeah, I don't agree either. I think, because he basically said that a black man should be on the $20 bill before a black woman. That's what he said. He said a man should be first. 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 And I was like, no, what? I don't agree. Like, that doesn't, and Umar was like, I do not agree. And I was like, yeah, I agree with Umar. Me and Umar don't agree with you right on this. And I thought about it though, right? I saw him really digging his heels in on this opinion. I tried to look at the world through his eyes. And I listen to the OGs. I listen to the elders, because the elders, they know a world that you and I don't know. They know a world pre-integration, right? They know a world where we had stable families. They know a world where we had real communities. They know a world where you had black businesses scattered all over the place. In fact, entire enclaves of black businesses, and you don't have that anymore. You don't know that world. You're living, it's almost like you're living in the aftermath of the racial equivalent of a nuclear holocaust. Like imagine a child living of a nuclear bomb drops and 80% of civilization is wiped out, and a child is born in that world. Like he don't know nothing about what it's like to have restaurants and businesses and hotels on the streets. He only knows, what it means to live in a world where people are killing each other and you're eating a dog to stay alive, and you got everybody sick from radiation, right? That's all he knows. He only knows the aftermath. He does not know the extant precursor to the aftermath, right? So that's the way we are. We don't know the world Joe Brown knows and the world he's comparing it to. Dr. Claude Anderson's the same way. When he talks about the world, he describes things that are like, I'll be like sitting there. I went to see him, we sat for 5 hours, and I sat there. I felt like I was hearing my grandpa just telling me these great stories about how wonderful life was in the black community. I'll be like, come on, granddad, tell me another story. You get like a little kid, like, come on, granddad, tell me another one, right? He'll be like, yeah, we on this block right here, this block where all the crack is being sold, and the hoes and the people getting shot. Oh yeah, there used to be a black nightclub, and Cab Calloway used to come through, and that's where I met that's where I met Lena Horne. Like, they'll be telling stories like that. You'll be like, what? Like, this don't even sound like the world we live in. So my point is to say on this, right? Y'all know I dig in a little deeper than everybody else, but y'all know I always get to the point. And my point is that the elders have things they can tell you about what the world can be that you've never seen before. You don't know these things. Some people, many of our people, most of our community don't even know what it's like to have two parents that are married and never get a divorce, right? Like most of us don't know this. So this is why the Joe Browns actually matter. This is why their opinions should be heard, even if the opinions sound a little bit weird, even if we don't agree, even if he sounds like the crazy old granddaddy at the picnic. And in this particular case, he did sound to me like the crazy old granddaddy at the picnic, but the respect was always there. Now, here's what's interesting. Do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button right now. On the count of three, everybody hit the thumbs up button so people come to the chat. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Also, make sure you join blackenough.com. That's our social media platform for black people. If you're black enough, join Black Enough. We have great black conversations every day of the week, all the time. You can even find people in your local community. It can sort people out by your city and find people in your community that you can have meetups with, okay? So make sure you join Black Enough. It's spelled on my shirt. That's why I wear the shirt, so you can spell it right. So here's the thing. So I thought about it. I said, why would Judge Brown say this? This almost feels insulting to women to say that you can't have a woman on the $20 bill before you have a man. And I'm not even going to say that he's 100% correct. I'm going to say that he has a perspective that can be heard. And here's the perspective, right? I thought about it like this. When I'm out with my woman, when I'm out with Alicia, and let me tell you about one time I was out with Alicia. Alicia, is such a pretty woman. She's as gorgeous as the day is long in my mind. And I remember going places with her when we were younger and walking into a club and all the men in the club like lining up just to like put their hand on her arm, like to grab her, pull on the dance. It was the craziest thing. Like she's a very pretty lady, always has been. Now she's in her 40s, but she's still gorgeous. But in her 20s, she was just literally like, I felt supermodel material. But then again, maybe that's my perspective. I don't know. But anyway, here's the deal. I remember one time I met this guy. He was this Italian dude, and he was all flashy and shit, had this old fancy car and stuff. And he didn't know Alicia was with me. And I had went out around the block for a run, and I came back. And this guy is really trying to holler at her, right? He's really trying to talk to her. And he's like, hey, why don't you take a ride in my car, my sports car, blah, 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 blah. And I remember, of course I was like, okay, who's this? Sweetie, hi, nice to meet you. We're happy to meet you, right? And it made me think about, this idea of, imagine if you are with your woman and a man comes up to you and your woman and wants to meet your woman, but doesn't want to talk to you, right? Or reaches out to shake your woman's hand first and doesn't acknowledge you. Does anybody agree that can be seen as a little offensive to a man? Like, does anybody feel like that's a little offensive? Is there something to that? Or is it just, he just randomly happened to shake the woman's hand first? And it could have been either one of y'all. He just happened to meet the woman. No. Does anybody understand what I'm saying when I say that for a lot of men, that can be seen as an insult? Yes or no? Okay, good. We're on the same page. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: if you ever see me and my woman on the street together, and you shake her hand first, and then you don't, and then on top of that, you don't even acknowledge me, you shake her hand and start talking to her and act like I'm not there. Oh, we gonna have a problem. We gonna have a real problem at that point. Because at that point, I'm inserting myself into the conversation because that it ain't happening like that, partner. Like seriously, it ain't happening like that, for real. So here's what the white man, and here's the deal. Here's the deal. Let me break before I get to the white man, because you know the white man's waiting now. He's waiting outside. Wait outside, white man. We're gonna bring you into the conversation in a minute. When a man does that to another man, the reason that men get offended, as you should, is because he's sending you a message. He's sending a signal to say, not only do I not think you're shit, I don't even think you're relevant to what's about to go down right here. I'm trying to get to know your woman and establish something with her. It may not even be sexual. It may even, I just want to do business with your woman, right? And I don't even have to act like you're even in the room. You're not in the picture. You're irrelevant. And then if I really am thinking like eventually I might try to fuck her too, I probably could because you don't really matter, because now a real man's in the room, so you need to go sit over there with the children. Do you follow what I'm saying? Does anybody get what I'm saying? So now let's pull in the white man. Okay, white man, you can come in. Black people are talking, but you can come in the room now. So all throughout American history, that's pretty much a microcosm of what the white man has done to the black man since the beginning of slavery. For the last 400 years, the white man has always felt that the black man can be pushed out of the equation. He can deal straight with the black woman. This happened on the plantation, when you had many black women that were raped by the master and would make the husband sit outside on the front porch while somebody's raping your wife. When the master would bring the pretty little black girls into the house and keep us outside, keep the men outside as the field Negroes. It happened during mass incarceration and Jim Crow, when they decided to incarcerate all the black men so they could have access to the women for themselves. It's happened with the liberals and the Democratic Party when they pretty much created a welfare system that punished you for having a black man anywhere around or anywhere in the house. It's happening today in corporate America when black women are getting promoted to the top of the food chain in corporate America, and many black men, masculine heterosexual black males, are kept outside. It's happening in media when shows like Scandal are designed and set up to have a black woman, a beautiful black woman, really think that her best sexual option is to be a married white man's whore. Seriously, let's just be real. Right? You go back, keep talking about media. When Meghan Markle says, when the Meghan Markle marriage is celebrated like no other, and they're pretty much sending a message to black women to say that because your men ain't shit, the best option you have for yourself is to go marry somebody whose family got rich because they're a bunch of fucking slave masters. All that wealth that they got, a big percentage of that came from black people. Of the vast majority of the wealth that redheaded white boy has, who married Meghan Markle, this redheaded white boy who's probably got a penis about as long as my pinky, this redheaded white boy got all his wealth from Africa. But yet we're celebrating that because you've been trained to believe that your men are garbage, that they are so worthless and so irrelevant that they never need to be acknowledged. So let me dig into this, right? So Judge Joe Brown got pissed off at the Breakfast Club because Charlemagne and Envy and Angela Yee didn't seem to agree with him, and they said a little something. And I'm not going to talk down on the people at the Breakfast Club, because I text Charlemagne this morning. Me and him text on a regular basis about all different kinds of things, and I have a lot of respect for the brother. My respect for him, you can't get me to diss Charlemagne. You can get me to tell you when I think he's wrong, but you can't get me to diss Charlemagne because he's never done me wrong. He's always been cool with me and up, so that's never gonna change. But here's the thing. So Joe Brown wants to debate the folks on the Breakfast Club. I think that the language of he called them moist and this, that, and the other, like I'm challenging him to a debate. Well, that's kind of just bravado. That's him kind of speaking loud to get their attention, hoping that they'll kind of come in and take the bait. I don't think they have to take the bait. in order for the debate to happen, because I think also at the same time there is room for us to understand the nuances of what Judge Joe Brown is saying, as well as what the members of the Breakfast Club are saying. What they're saying is, on the surface, it obviously, without a doubt, can sound like a sexist insinuation. Like, what do you mean a woman can't go before the man? What do you mean you can't have a black woman on the $20 bill before the man? On the surface, I think that makes sense. But here's the thing, right? Besides what I just explained to you a second ago, there's kind of the other issue of sort of saying, why do we think that we have to live in a world where everything between men and women is always equivalent, always the same? I don't think we have to live, because I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. When I go somewhere with my fiance, I open the door for her and I say, ladies first. Right? Now, if I was to say, nah, bitch, get behind me, men first. Real niggas first, girl. You get behind me, bitch. Like, if I was to do that, if I was to say, look, you get behind me, Alicia, because it's men first, she'd probably be like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not cool. Like, what do you mean? It's ladies first, right? And so it's not to say, so it's not as if it's from another planet to make the assumption that there are gender-based norms that do exist in society, and not all of these norms are evil, right? There are rights that my woman has that I do not have because I do not own a vagina. She lets me she gives me access to her body because she loves me, but that's her stuff. That ain't mine, right? So I don't own a vagina. There's not a vagina attached to my body. So there are certain things that happen in the household where she says, no, this is not, we've got this, boys, or the women are going to talk, boys, or we're going to take care of this, boys, or you step out, boys. And that no time do I feel like, oh, y'all being sexist, oh, y'all ain't right, y'all don't believe in equality, this ain't fair. I just say, okay, you're right, I'm going to go in the other room, right? Y'all take care of this, I'm going to go in here and watch football or whatever, right? So the expectation that there are situations where men are wired to lead, there's nothing sexist about the idea of a man leading in certain situations, just like it's not sexist to understand fully that women are fully equipped to lead in certain areas. There are specific scenarios in our household where my fiance takes the lead, where I say, you know what, I don't know nothing about that. You handle that. You tell me what to do. What do I do next? Right? And so these situations can vary from time to time, but what happens is you get you get the angry bitter women on sites like forharriet.com, which is pretty much it's pretty much like the Tommy Sotomayor for black women. Like whatever Tommy Sotomayor is, you ever see Tommy Sotomayor, how he just hates black women, like he just really thinks black women ain't shit, unless it's some crazy black woman. But most of the black women that he talks about are like garbage and terrible people. Well, For Harriet's kind of the same way. They're like, okay, let's go collect all the trash in the black community. Let's find the most ratchet, ridiculous, horrible black men we can find, and we're going to go talk shit about them because deep down we really just hate our fathers, and we're lonely, and we're unhappy, and we're blaming this on men because society gives us the right to do this. Society allows us to place the blame for all of our problems on the black man, so that's what we're going to do, right? So it's kind of a white supremacist website for the most part. It's a lot like Fox News, kind of in the sense of sort of picking the very worst and then saying that this represents the entirety, and we know that that's bullshit. That's not balanced. That's not healthy. That's not who we are. But here's the thing. When you talk about Judge Joe Brown, I think there's room to hear what he has to say, largely because if you look at the issue as sort of just saying, no, a woman can't go first on the $20 bill, I don't agree with that. I would have no problem with a black woman being on the $20 bill before a black man per se. The bigger problem is that the black man has never even been considered to be placed on a $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100 bill at all. And my issue is not for those women who would cheer for a Harriet Tubman, or all of us who would cheer for Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill. I think the bigger issue is for those who don't perceive it to be a clear injustice that they've never acknowledged the black man at any point. Because this is a pattern. This is not a one-off situation. This is a consistent pattern. Just like the man who walks up and shakes your woman's hand, makes eye contact with her, and wants to talk to her and do business with her and doesn't acknowledge you, putting Harriet on the $20 bill and not at any point saying, we should have a black man on a $20 bill too, is kind of like the ultimate diss. It's a continuation of a series of disses on the black man that have existed all throughout time. So I'm not going to sit here and say I agree 100% with what Joe Brown said, certainly not on the surface. And I can understand why a lot of people will be offended by it, because a lot of people don't think as deeply about things as we do maybe in this platform, right? But, you know, I think I see his frustration. His frustration is like, wait a minute. Y'all made this feminist movie, because you know the movie Harriet wasn't shit. That movie wasn't shit. I went to see the movie, and I was with a black woman who's a psychotherapist who watched it with me and said this movie ain't. We both like laughed at how ridiculous this movie was. Y'all know the movie wasn't shit, and but it's a very popular movie, right? So think about this: how is it that an ain't shit movie is very popular not just amongst white people, but it was also very popular amongst a lot of black people? It was popular amongst a lot of black people because I don't think there are many people in this society, white, black, or otherwise, who are even remotely concerned with the amount of vitriol that is spewed upon the black man. They are not at all concerned about the destruction of the image of the black man. They're not at all concerned about the mass incarceration of the black man. They're not at all concerned with the missing black man. We got 69,000 black girls missing, and I want to talk about that too, because brothers, y'all need to be concerned about this, right? Well, you've heard this story, yes or no? Did you hear about this? 69,000 black girls are missing right now. But you also have hundreds of thousands of black men who are missing because they're off in the penitentiary, or they've been marginalized from society, or shot in the street, or whatever. So my point is not to say that one matters more than the other. It's to say that, you can't build a community without your black man. So any black woman who sees this, I think you can applaud. You can say, great, Harriet Tubman was an amazing person, but we need the black man to be next to us if we're really going to go fight this battle. Because when it comes to really fighting certain kinds of wars, there are only certain kind of wars where only men are able to fight those wars effectively. There are certain kinds of wars where women are better fighters than men, right? We know that women have skills and talents that men do not have, but we also know that men have skills and talents that women do not have, and it is not in any way sexist to make that point. Right? So that's what, do you get what I'm saying? Give me a yes or no if you're following what I'm saying, if this makes sense to you. And I'm not in any way, this conversation can be had without disparaging the legacy of Harriet Tubman. It can be had without in any way insinuating that women are inferior, right? Women are different. They're not inferior. They're just different from men. Men and women are different, right? And so to me, Judge Joe Brown's remark was not as much about Harriet and black women as it was about the way the black man is dismissed and disrespected and disregarded and demonized and then ultimately destroyed. Remember, Byron Allen talked about the 4 Ds. He talked about first they dismiss you, then they discredit you, then they demonize you, which gives them permission to destroy you. So the black man has gone through all of that. If you are a black man in this room, how many of you feel like you've gone through the 4 Ds, where you've been in situations where people have tried to dismiss you, where they tried to discredit you? I get discredited every goddamn day. Every motherfucking day. I was in class getting my doctorate with white boys, Asian students, Iranian students from Russia, Chinese students who got the highest math scores in all of China, and I went through all of that, but yet I still have dumbass people who, because I'm a black man, say, well, his PhD ain't real, or they'll use air quotes. Well, this doctor, well, fuck you and your air quotes, because I know that I went to school till I was 31 years old to get that degree. It was damn hard, right? I know I was at the top of my class. So what is with this air quotes, right? Well, so that discrediting thing happens because when you see a black man who is on his shit, who's on top of things, who's doing well and kicking ass and ain't scared, the first thing you want to do is assume that ain't real. The things you can accept from a white man, you can't accept from a black man. And I ain't just talking to white people, because you guys know my channel, I don't talk to white people on this channel. White people come in, but they're not asked to come in. I'm talking to black people. I'm talking to all the black people who look at a black man or black woman who's doing well or whatever and assume that because you're black, you must be inferior. Well, fuck you and your assumptions, because there's nothing inferior about how I live my life. If you want to say we're superior, then cool. Because me and my woman we got real PhDs. Like, we didn't go to like school for the weekend. We didn't get our PhDs in the back of a cereal box. We didn't go to a summer program. We didn't just pay a couple dollars and go to some online school. We went to a real doctoral program, went through that shit, went through agony, got hazed for 4 or 5 years, and then emerged as doctorates in the top 1% of the top 1%. So all this stuff, like, it's this discrediting. I see it all the time. It doesn't bother me that much because I'm used to it, but that's the reality, right? And then the demonization. Once they can't discredit you, the demonization happens. I've gone through that. I've been demonized on national TV. Fox News had a whole campaign designed to try to get me fired from Syracuse. I went through that. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'm just sharing this to help you understand. Judge Joe Brown, I imagine, has been demonized quite often. I'm sure there are people that don't look at him as a legit, real judge because of some of the things he said. No, he's real. I assume he went to real law school. I got to go look up his bio, but I assume his credentials are real. I believe that they're real. They don't call him Judge Joe Brown for nothing. Right? But I'm sure he too has been demonized and discredited just because he's a black man. Right? So what I'm trying to say is that if someone like Joe Brown or anybody, or even me, if we talk about something that doesn't make sense to you or doesn't add up, just hear the brother out. Just hear him out. Hear him out, and you can say, okay, I thought about it, and I don't know if I agree with that. I think or maybe I would add this point onto it. Sometimes if somebody makes an argument you don't agree with, a lot of times, my first goal when I hear something I don't agree with is to try to learn from it. Like, I try to have empathy. Alicia talks a lot about the word empathy. She's a therapist. Therapists are very touchy-feeling about emotions. So her favorite word is empathy. She's like, Boyce, you got to keep learning. You learn what empathy is. So I was like, okay, so empathy, let me think what it is. Putting myself in the other person's shoes, getting out of my shoes, standing in their shoes, looking at the world from their perspective and saying, why would I think that this bullshit statement actually makes sense? And you know what happens? When I do that, I'm like, oh, I see what they're saying. Wow. If I were like them, I would totally get it. I would totally say that. Okay, now I get it. It's not that I'm right and they're wrong. It's that I'm looking at the building from the northwest angle. You're looking at the building from the southeast angle, and we're seeing two different pieces of geometry in front of us, and we're both speaking our truths. So Judge Joe Brown has his truth. That's what I'm saying to you. And it does not benefit you to dismiss his truth because you simply want to reiterate your truth. Because at the end of the day, your truth is never the whole truth. Your truth is never the universal truth. So if you keep reciting your own truth as if it's the only truth and the universal truth, then you're going to live a motherfucking lie. You're going to live a lie your whole life and look as stupid as all these people that are unfriending people because of who they voted for in the last election. That's the dumbest stuff I've ever seen, because none of these politicians give a shit about any of y'all at all. Point blank, period. All right, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. Also, make sure you join Black Enough. Black Enough is a social media platform we created. It's black owned. We own the trademark on this word. We invented this word, black, because it came off the word black enough. Are you black enough? Oh, let's make it into a word, black enough. All right, so go to blackenough.com, join our social media platform. We're also trying to build. We're trying to bring together all the black businesses that are out there so that we can build an online database that's searchable and actually turn that into an app. So if you want to put your business in there, go to theblackbusinesslist.com, THE. That's theblackbusinesslist.com. And one more thing, last thing I'll mention, of course, you guys know I mentioned the Black Business School, so you can get started for free. We are educating over 82,000 people at literally 1/100th of what it cost them to go to college and giving them an education that is superior to what they got in college. You don't believe us? Go try it out for free. You will learn more from us for free than you learned spending $100,000 going to college. I guarantee it. And then if you decide to sign up for a program, the programs don't even cost that much. So give it a try. We're experts. We know what we're doing. Julian Gordon went to Stanford University. Attorney Nicole Compton has a law degree and an MBA. We have billionaire Mike Roberts who came through. Dr. Claude Anderson who wrote Powernomics. We've had all different kinds of wealth builders in the community teaching you how to build wealth, particularly in stocks, real estate, and entrepreneurship. So bring your family. We educate children. We have a great program for children as well. Go to theblackbusinessschool.com, THE, that's theblackbusinessschool.com. Our experts are on the line waiting to talk to you right now about your future, because I want you to go get it. I want you to succeed, because at the end of the day, we can debate all day about Joe Brown, Breakfast Club, what so-and-so said, what so-and-so is doing. But what matters at the end of the day is what are you doing? So ask yourself that question every day. That's what's going to get you ahead in this world. Thank you, Cornelius, for your donation. And anybody else who made donations in the chat, I'm sorry if I missed what you were saying, what you were giving. It's no disrespect. I just get caught up in what I'm saying sometimes, and I want to stay focused, because y'all know how I get when I lose my focus. I start going all over the place. All right, thank you, Cassie J. Cassie Style 360 Salon in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, that's another way. If you want me to mention your business, just make a little donation in the chat, preferably at least $10 or something, like, because you're getting some free advertising. But make a donation in the chat, and I will mention your business. So that's a great way to get low cost advertising, because we reach 1 million people a week on this platform. So it's a good way to get your business name out there. So Cassie's Style 360 Salon in Nashville, Tennessee. CASSI, Cassie J. Thank you for your support, and you guys have a great day. If you want to be a supporter of the platform, help us grow intelligent Black media, feel free to go become a patron. Join our League of Intelligent Black People at intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. This money will be put to good use, because we're making movies, we're making TV shows, we're doing all kinds of stuff that's going to reach the community, because we believe deeply in Black people having our own media. We don't just talk about it, we are about it. So take care, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Be good. Peace.